written speech from the Competent Communication Manual. His objectives are to select a speech topic and determine its specific and general purpose, to organize the speech in a manner that best achieves those purposes, ensure that the beginning, body, and conclusion reinforce the purpose of the speech, and then finally to strive not to use notes. Nikhil's topic today is romancing the mailbox. Interesting. In this speech, he will bring forth the contrast between modes of communication used today and back in the day. Nikhil has 5 to 7 minutes. Nikhil, welcome.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome all the guests. I'll try not to use my notes. Happy birthday. Have a fantastic day today. Hope you have a blast today. XOXO. I'm reading off of the Twitter screen of my little sister. It's her birthday today, and her friends are wishing her on Twitter and Facebook. She's all happy, there's a smile splashed across her face, and her cheeks look like little balloons, and she's furiously replying, thanking all her friends, nimbly working on her smartphone. And in that moment of activity, the thought that came to my mind and struck me most was how much interpersonal communication has evolved since the beginning of the last few decades. So, imagine a world where you don't have Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, Snapchat, not even Gmail. Let's kind of work through this. How would you communicate with people? How do you do everyday activities? So this was a couple of decades, 3 decades ago maybe, and those are the days when we were all, most of us were young infants, probably not even there, I wasn't there, and our parents formed the working population. Mobile phones or internet was a luxury, if not inexistent. So if mom had to ask dad to buy groceries, she would have to make a to-do list the previous day on a piece of paper. If you have to buy a camera, you would talk to your friends, talk to your office colleagues, people know better, rather than looking for a review on Amazon. There were no online maps at that time, but then you would trust the locals to help you find your way into a new place. When your college mate got engaged, she would actually send a personal letter out to everyone, informing her about her engagement, rather than as a broadcast message on Facebook or attachment in Gmail. Your father would be waiting back in your village, expectantly to get your letter announcing that you've just graduated from your college. And then he would reply to you. And when you reply, the ink on the letter would be still moistened with his pride and mother's love. So back in the day when you simply had postal mail and a postman happy on his bicycle as the only means to get across to people, how did people communicate and how was it different than what we do today? So let's say you have to send a get well soon letter to a long lost friend of yours from your school. You would start by first finding where he lives. You don't have Google, remember? You can't find him on Google. So you first ask, inquire about him through mutual contacts and find his physical address. And then you start writing your letter. You wouldn't be able to choose a font or a text size or text color like you do Gmail. You would have to, those characteristics of the letter would actually take the form of your emotions as you write the letter. So, for example, you would initially begin as you start writing the letter. You would begin by inquiring about his job, his family, his neighborhood, and the text would be idling and lazing around. Then you would actually talk about the accident, perhaps, and the text would get really jagged, sort of animated. And you would curse the other driver because obviously the friend is not at fault. So there are these characteristics which will come forth through the letter just because you feel about it and you are actually communicating it through it rather than a fixed font size. Similarly, if you were just inquiring about him in the letter, as you reminisce about the days in school, the text would grow a little curvy as you would make fun of him having his club in school, and so on and so forth. What I'm trying to bring out over here is that, as against the way we communicate today, back in the day, perhaps interpersonal communication was literally that, was more engaged, more involved, not because of the tools or lack, not because of the tools that we use today, like smileys or emoticons. We didn't have them back then, but because we actually wrote what we felt, and it was read in that way. So you as a writer and your friend, or whoever is the receiver, as a reader, would feel as if you're having an interpersonal, face-to-face communication. And I think that's one of the differences. But it wouldn't end there. Having written this letter, you would actually walk or bicycle to the nearest post office. You would start a casual conversation with the postmaster, inquire about him, his family, tell him that you are actually expecting a letter from your grandmother about the recent wedding ceremony that happened in the village, that you would like to send in the future, a money order to your parents or family back in the village. That's how you would send a letter. It is, granted, it is much more laborious and time consuming than just typing it out and pressing the send button, but perhaps that is the only mode of communication, or that is that will sustain today, given the fast evolving nature of technology. The fact that we live in times of instant gratification shows up in the fact that today in the mailboxes you don't get personal letters. All you get is credit card offers or $2 savings coupons. So all these thoughts came into my mind when I was watching my little sister as she was replying to her friends across Facebook, or located across the continents and different countries. And in a moment she was able to like and share and all that stuff. So I sat there and I asked myself, and I want to ask everyone, when the simple act of laughter today is shredded down to a mere LOL, you should ask yourself, has interpersonal communication really evolved, or is it just reduced to digital exchange? Thank you.
Wow, this reminded me of the good old days when you would actually post something, when mailing something actually meant a physical letter instead of just typing something. So, really good job. So, in front of you guys, you would have an evaluation form. Can you please take a couple of minutes to just evaluate the speech that Nikhil gave? Basically, if you can write a few comments around what are the things that he did well and the things that he can improve on for the next speech, that will be really helpful for Nikhil.
Is anyone informed evaluation forms? Anyone with a pen?
All right, are we done? Almost done? I see Sharon's still writing some comments. We'll just take 15 more seconds.
Thank you. So kind.
I'm a very kind person.
Yes, you
Generous.
are. I agree.
Very generous. Just remind you, the objectives of the speech were to organize the speech, make a clear beginning, body, and